One day, while walking through the forest, a man stumbled upon a wild boar. An experienced hiker, he froze in place. The frightened eyes of a small wild piglet stared back at him. This moment forever changed the lives of both. Who could have thought that a chance encounter would mark the beginning of an incredible story of friendship between a man and a wild boar, filled with dangerous adventures and astonishing discoveries? The story of Garrick and his loyal companion Yasha began like a fairy tale, unexpected and magical. During one of his usual walks in the forest, Garrick came across a tiny wild piglet that seemed to have lost its mother. The man's heart melted and he decided to take the little one under his wing, unaware of the amazing adventures that awaited them. Of course, taming a wild boar is no easy task. Garrick started small, offering Yasha food and patiently earning his trust. The first days were especially tough. The frightened and weakened piglet struggled to get used to human presence. But Garrick didn't give up. He found a safe spot in the forest where they could temporarily settle and began caring for his unusual ward. Day by day, step by step, the wild piglet began to see Garrick as his protector and friend. In turn, Garrick closely observed Yasha's body language and habits, which allowed him to better understand his new friend's needs. Thanks to this mutual understanding, Yasha began to trust Garrick and followed him everywhere like a faithful dog. Garrick, being an enthusiast and eager to share his experiences, started a YouTube channel where he documented their unique friendship from the very beginning. In a video from 2 years ago, he detailed the initial steps of taming Yasha, teaching the wild animal not to fear humans, feeding and caring for him. Each stage was full of challenges, but Garrick showed incredible patience and perseverance. Gradually, Yasha became not just a companion, but an integral part of all Garrick's expeditions. As an expert in wilderness survival, Garrick often went on long treks, and now he had an unusual but very useful companion. Together, they explored the forest, built shelters, and foraged for food. In one of his videos, Garrick demonstrates how Yasha helps him build a hut in the dense forest. The boar diligently digs the ground, gathers branches, and even helps tamp down the walls of the future dwelling. Garrick confidently states that the wild boar turned out to be much more useful on a prolonged forest expedition than most people. The winter expeditions of Garrick and Yasha were particularly thrilling. In one such journey, they spent time in the winter forest, living in a homemade dugout. Garrick showed how to survive in harsh conditions when temperatures drop below zero and snow covers everything with a thick layer. During these times, Yasha stayed close, acting as a loyal friend and even a living heater on the coldest nights. One of the most fascinating aspects of their friendship was how Garrick taught Yasha to find food in the forest. Thanks to his keen sense of smell, the boar became an invaluable helper in locating edible roots and mushrooms. This skill was especially valuable in survival conditions where every morsel of food was worth its weight in gold. Garrick never ceases to be amazed by his unusual friend's abilities. He speaks with admiration about how Yasha reacts to various sounds and smells in the forest, guards the camp from unwelcome guests, and expresses his emotions. Like a faithful watchdog, Yasha alerts Garrick to the approach of wild animals, making distinctive sounds and bravely standing guard over their camp. One day, during another trek, an incident occurred that forever solidified their friendship. Garrick and Yasha unexpectedly came across bear tracks, and soon the forest's ruler appeared. Without a moment's hesitation, Yasha positioned himself between Garrick and the enormous predator, demonstrating his loyalty and readiness to protect his friend even at the cost of his own life. Fortunately, the bear soon retreated into the thickets, apparently deciding not to tangle with such a brave duo. After this incident, Yasha became one of Garrick's best friends. The boar not only accompanies him on forest hikes, but also participates in many household chores, helps in the garden, and interacts well with other domestic animals. Garrick joyfully observes how his unusual friend has become a full-fledged member of the family, finding common ground with children and other pets. The man is convinced that Yasha has forever changed his life. Their joint forest hikes have become not only longer and more interesting, but also much more productive thanks to the boar's unique skills. Together, they have endured many hardships, severe storms that destroyed their temporary shelters, and torrential rains that forced them to hastily build shelters from branches and leaves. Amazingly, Garrick even managed to teach Yasha several commands. The boar proved to be an able student and gladly follows commands like stand, go forward, lie down, and many others. This skill has saved them in difficult situations more than once. Each hike with Garrick and Yasha is not just an adventure, but also a beneficial activity. They collect medicinal plants and berries, with the boar's excellent sense of smell making the gathering process much more efficient. Thanks to Yasha, they always return home with a backpack full of nature's bountiful gifts. One day, their curiosity and passion for exploration led to an astonishing discovery. During one of their hikes, Yasha led Garrick to an old, long-abandoned village. They explored several dilapidated houses, examining ancient utensils and tools with interest. Garrick reported this find to scientists, giving them the opportunity to study the old artifacts. The story of this pair is not just about an unusual friendship between a man and a wild animal. It is a tale of how an unexpected encounter can completely change a life, opening up new horizons and opportunities. By deciding to save the little wild piglet, the man gained not just a pet, but a loyal friend, an indispensable assistant in extreme hikes, and a true family member. Their story inspires and reminds us that sometimes it's worth taking a risk and trusting your heart, even if the decision seems illogical or strange. For it is such decisions that can lead to the most amazing adventures and discoveries in our lives. Until next time.